Okay, here with Patriots head coach Jerod Mayo. Hey, in person, congratulations.
I appreciate it. I'm excited for the opportunity, and I love the fans. I love New England, and happy to be here.
Training camp. I'd like to know, out of all the memories that you have of this field behind us, where does your head go? What is the one that sticks out the most as a player?
Yeah, as a player, just the battles in practice. There's nothing more important than practice. And going against guys like Tom and Welker and Randy and all those guys, it was a blast, and I'll never forget that experience.
Who'd you hate going against? Be honest.
I hated going against Tom because it was more of a cerebral battle, right? He would check a play, I would check a play. He would check another play, I would check another play, and then there's 2 seconds left on the clock, and hopefully we get a delay game. But, Tom was the ultimate competitor.
I thought you were going to say you hated the Hill, the battles against Is that Hill still in service with all of these amazing changes you have putting your mark on it?
The Hill will be here forever, all right? It's good. And honestly, that's just another, piece of adversity for these guys to really fight through. And I think it really helps the camaraderie of the team. They're tired, and now I'm asking them to do something else. But we have to be demanding without being demeaning if we want a good football team.
I have a million things I could ask you, but I need to know about the Players Lounge. I can't get any info on this. What is in there? What happens? I can't get access. Nobody will squeal.
You know what? What I noticed as far as the transition over the last few years, especially with the explosion of social media. I just did the TikTok for you.
I know. We just had Coach Mayo TikTok, and we love it.
And so with the explosion of social media, the guys would have a break, and they would just go into their locker and get on their phone, just scroll all the time. And I came up in a place where we would play golf in the locker room. You probably saw us doing this, playing trash-ball. Or
losing
basketball.
to Tom Brady and
Exactly.
ping pong, sure.
Exactly. So all those things, we had a closer team, and the reason for the lounge was just to give those guys an opportunity to go in there and compete and have fun and not want to leave the building right when the last meeting strikes. So those guys, there's a PlayStation in there, there's an Xbox in there, pool table, ping pong
air
table.
Hockey?
No air hockey. No, we got to win some games.
Pop-a-shot.
Before we get air hockey, we got to win a few games.
How many games do you have to win for there to be an air hockey table in the Players Lounge?
We'll go with 10. Nice number.
10! Ooh, reach for the stars. We love that. And you might get there with this incredible defense. I want to know who out here is reminding you of yourself from a leadership perspective, a going after it perspective, talent.
Yeah, I would say on the field, it's more, it's Bentley, as that guy who loves the pads. So today's the first day in pads. I would also
You're
say.
so excited about
I am.
practice.
I should have worn my shoulder pads. But, just from a personality standpoint and, joking around, trying to make it light during hard times is Judon. Judon does that stuff all the time, and I appreciate it.
Judon, excited about him of course, as a leader and all of it. Let's talk about your quarterbacks and your offense. This defense should be a top 5 unit. It could get you to those 10 wins. I'd love to see it. But when we talk about the offense with Drake May and Jacoby Brissett, you have maintained it's Brissett's situation, and unless Drake May wows you, what is one thing Drake May could do to wow you?
It doesn't really matter what position we're talking about, honestly. It's about competition. If we want to stick on the quarterback side, look, Jacoby has a very good understanding of this offense, but he understands that all of the quarterbacks will have an equal opportunity to go out there and show what they can do. Now, in saying that, everyone can't get 20 or 30 reps in practice, and I always tell these guys it's not about the amount of reps, it's what you do with those reps. And look, Drake just has to continue doing what he's doing. He's a very competitive guy. That's why we loved him coming out of Carolina. Grew up in a household with, all boys, those guys playing basketball all the time and competing. And look, he'll have his chance, he'll have his opportunity, but at the same time, we're not going to put him out there if he's not ready to go.
At the end of camp, if they are neck and neck, if they're so close, if Drake May improves as he should, every practice, every camp, every rep, who's going out there? That's
a tough question. That's a tough question. I think at that point you have to go with NFL experience, and you have to go with Jacoby in that instance.
I keep hearing you say pro ready. Every press conference, everything, that Jacoby Brissett's pro ready. What does that mean to you outside of just experience in-game action, which Drake May can't get until you roll him out there?
Yeah, there are things like out here on the field, you can script everything. You have a controlled environment. When I talk about pro ready, it's the off-schedule type of plays. It's being able to pull the nose up on the plane as it's going down. Just those things are what I think about when I say pro ready, and just the way they approach the game. Obviously, Jacoby has experience, but Drake is also approaching the game the right way, but we'll just have to see.
I mean, everybody talks about coaching trees. You and I come from the quick slants NBC
Quick
Sports
slants.
Boston
Okay,
coaching
shout
tree.
out.
Shout out. Devin McCourty's doing his
Yeah,
thing on
yeah.
Sunday. Like
That whole crew
do
is
we
doing
owe
well.
Tom Curran something? It's, what
Are
do
we
you
on this? We're on this tree, huh?
Yeah,
I guess
mean,
so.
I feel like he picked us. We came up with him. It's pretty
No,
exciting.
absolutely, absolutely. But I do love seeing people do well, and you've done a fantastic job. Now you have your own Up and Adams.
Cheers.
Up and
To
Adams.
that. Okay, Coach. Speaking of coaching trees, did Bill Belichick reach out to you when after you got the gig, after it was announced?
So that's a tough question. We haven't had a lot of communication since I've been here, and honestly, for me, my focus is the players. It's all about the players, and I learned a lot from Bill. I honestly did, X's and O's, and also structure and practice and things like that. But like I said, it's a different time. It's a different era, and hopefully we can have that same success.
I do want to get this right, though, because I worked up here. I was here every day, and it's a tough camp. It's Belichick. It's his next generation. You have this task. I find it so fascinating of putting your stamp on it, evolving it with a new era, being progressive, like you're saying. But let's be clear here. This is a tough ass camp. Like this is not. So it's the perception. Like New England fans don't want to hear it's an easier camp. It's a lighter camp, and it's not, right?
No, not at all. And I would also say the first 5 days, that's the acclimation period that every team has to go through. And, there's a narrative out there that, I'm a player's coach. I don't like to, look, they can say whatever they want to say. For me, it's about accountability. It's about, these guys being professionals. It's not about setting a bunch of rules and being, you're a professional. Take ownership of your career and let's go out here and ball out. And if you as an individual play well, then your respective side of the ball is going to play well, and that leads to the team playing well. And I challenge the guys with that.
You don't want to be known as a player's coach, it sounds like.
I think I want to be known as a great coach. That's what it comes down to, and what lever I decide to pull to get these guys going. that's part of the skill set that I feel pretty strongly about.
When I think Patriots, I think Robert Kraft. I think RKK. What is one thing
Young
he's
Thundercat.
really What is one thing that he's really involved in? Like, what do you hear about from him the most, as far as what's important to him?
The people management stuff. He's been a tremendous help along with Jonathan. They've been a tremendous help in that regards. And in saying that, they understand that the experts are downstairs, so they're not talking to us about X's and O's. They're not talking to the scouting department about who's good, who's not. But they offer support while at the same time letting us do our job.
In one sentence, what is the identity of this offense? The defense, I think I've got sort of figured out. Offensively, what is
you have
this
our
team?
defense figured out?
I doubt it because
it changes all the time.
They're going to be great. Oh, really? Oh, see?
We change every week. We're a game plan team.
What's Van Pelt got?
Look, what I will say is, I said this in front of the entire team yesterday. We are going to run the ball. And we're going to have plays off of running the ball. But I do think with our backs, the offensive line getting better every day, I think we'll have a chance to really go out there and control the game through the run game and then throw the ball down the field based on that.
It's interesting you have McAdoo here. He's got head coaching experience, but he's, an assistant here. You've got Van Pelt. How's that dynamic working?
It's been great. McAdoo spends a lot of time, obviously, on the offensive side. And I also lean on him along with Slater. Just talking about just the structure of practice and giving me things to think about in regards to football. And in saying that, I would also say, look, McAdoo, he's a quarterback guy, but the thing that we just have to be careful of is that we're all speaking the same language. And I think AVP's done a great job making sure that, TC McCartney and McAdoo, that they're all speaking the same language. And the ratio of coach to player has been great, but when it's all said and done, AVP is in charge of the quarterback.
With Jacoby, given this new influence, given your new era, your stamp on it, you know Jacoby. I know Jacoby. Fans know him. Is there something different about him? Is there another half step or step that you've seen him take even in this short time?
So I didn't know Jacoby before.
You didn't?
No, we didn't overlap.
What do you mean he wasn't out there doing celebrations with you in the end zone? You were gone already.
I was already gone.
You were doing your media career.
I was doing media, yeah, but we didn't really have any interaction. It was more, I asked a bunch of people like how he was as a person, and I couldn't find one person to say anything bad about him, so I'm happy to have him here.
He won't even stay in the seat. This man is so excited for these guys to put pads on and go kick each other's asses out there.
Absolutely, that's the plan.
Enjoy. You said you don't even know anything about them until they go out there and do that.
That's right. That's right. That's real football.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Coach. Good luck. 2016. Seems like a long time ago. I remember seeing you out on the field. Jacoby Brissett, QB1, you're back here. What has changed the most in your eyes? The single most thing?
I probably just got older. A lot of life lessons for sure. The place is kind of the same. Obviously, different without Bill here, but no, it's still the same place.
What do you mean it's still the same place? It's way different.
It is and it's not. The standard is still the standard. That's the most important thing. it's been a little different energy, I would say, on a more day-to-day basis. But again, it's still the same place.
I talked to your coach. He seemed disappointed that you two overlapped. Didn't overlap. That he was there, then you came in. Would he have given you that work out there?
I mean, I don't know if that's how good that is to say as my coach almost overlapped me, but I don't know. The way he looks now, I don't think he could have hanged with me back in the day. So I don't think so.
Is he getting out there and getting physical with his defense?
Oh, for sure. His energy is through the roof. It's fun seeing his energy out there with the guys, not only offense but defense as well. And it's been a joy to just see him, obviously grow in this position as well.
You have the pads on, first padded practice.
Yeah.
How would you size that? You looked locked in, and you were on fire out there today.
Oh, thank you.
You knew I was here. You were
Yeah,
putting on the
exactly.
show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I knew I was gonna have to answer that question.
What did you think?
I thought it was a good day. A lot of good back and forth. Obviously when we go back and watch the film, there's a lot of things to clean up. But I think for the first day of pads, the intensity ramped up, the physicality ramped up as well. So I'm excited to go back and watch the film and then get better from it.
What do you want to clean up that you already know without even turning the film on?
Just the operational things. It's a lot of those things fall back on the quarterback. It's just jumping off sides, getting us in and out of the right place. Things that the defense had no control over today. And obviously throwing with pads on and throwing to the guys in live action. Things like that needs to clean up.
What's the most impressive thing about this wide receiver that I'm hearing? Fans, security people. I'm in the bathroom. The lady's like, Javon Baker. What's his game like?
Just watch today. I mean, go up there and make one of the best plays of
what a
training
catch.
camp. A young kid that's been getting better each and every day. And like you said, I'm excited to see where this goes for him. He has a lot of potential for us and being able to make plays down the field and be explosive.
You looked great out there. We had Rhamondre Stevenson. He said, tell Jacoby, hand the ball off, hand the ball. He wants that Patriots all-time rushing record. Jerod Mayo saying the identity of this offense is running the ball. Are you okay with that?
Oh, for sure. Hey, whatever we got to do to win, he's obviously a good player.
Look, I fumbled.
And exactly. Rhamondre did not do that. I look forward to those days where I can hand the ball off and just watch him run.
I remember watching that 4-game thing with Brady. You leave that 3-1. Do you remember the conversation after that? Did you get a special thank you? That Super Bowl win over the Falcons, was there a little moment for you between you and Tom?
I wouldn't say I had anything to do with the Super Bowl. That was all them.
What do you mean? You handed it over 3-1.
No, I think that was me and Jimmy because Jimmy won the first game. And then I forget what happened the other 2 games. Well, we beat Jimmy played the first half of the second game. Then I came in and then we lost to Buffalo. I mean, I would say it was a collective effort. And I think Tom kind of said, to us in our QB room that it was a collective effort for this year, of all the things that everybody kind of went through to lead to that point. And I think that was about it. But when it got to the Super Bowl, I literally was on the sideline being a cheerleader.
But that matters. You going out there with the defense and celebrating is my favorite thing I've ever seen, maybe, in the NFL. Everyone I talked to, Patrick Chung the other week, Elliott Wolf came on my show. Everyone has the same. Jerod Mayo said, I didn't play with him, but I never heard a bad thing about him. They use the word perfect. He's the perfect guy for this and this situation with Drake May. What is that? How does that make you feel?
I'm so far from perfect. I obviously appreciate the compliment. But I think it's look, I'm a teammate first. I'm going out there. I'm trying to be a good teammate. You don't have to pay me to be a good teammate. That just comes with who I am as a person. And and that's to Drake, to Joe, to Bailey, to everybody on this team. I think those things is just what comes with you trying to help build a culture of being a good team. And that's something that I take pride in. And that's just how I just live my life. I don't want somebody to say the opposite of being perfect.
Sure, but part of me is I bet that's a compliment, but also you're perfect for this. You want the job. You want to be the starter.
Oh, for sure. I don't think 2 things can be true. I could be perfect for the situation, but also I'm the perfect guy to start too. Don't take that away from it either. You know what I mean? I fully expect myself to be the starter. That as long as I am here, and whatever happens outside of that has nothing to do with me. But that doesn't mean I belittle myself for somebody else. That just means hey, I'm not too big enough for the situation to where I can go out there and perform, but also go out there and help my teammates and help lead this team the right way.
You're lighting it up. You looked incredible out there. It was really, really fun to watch. But I got to say, it's kind of a no Judon out there. How much easier? How much easier was it?
I made the joke to Zap today. He's like, "Oh, Judon's not practicing." I was like, "All right, well, we can get someplace on today."
And you did.
We get after him a little bit too, so he understands. It's so fun having him on our side of this thing, and him being able to play for us, because I do not want to go against him. That's for sure.
What is it about him that makes him so formidable?
I just think it's his energy, you can see his will to play football, to get after the quarterback, to tackle the run, and be a force in this league, And I remember watching him like throughout my career. I think we're the same year, and he's gotten better each and every year. And you go out there and practice, and being able to see him on a day in and day out basis, there's no shortcut to what he's doing.
Javon Baker's standing out. I want to know, in your eyes, not the media's eyes, not fans' eyes, who's standing out in practice at either side of the ball? Give a little love, a little QB1 love.
The funny thing is like, and this is gonna sound like the cliche answer, but like I think Mayo would say the same thing. We've had healthy, good back and forth. It's been days where in periods where the defense gotten after us, but it's been periods where we got after the defense. And I think everybody, which is good, which we're gonna need, is like everybody's taking their chance to make plays and capitalize on those plays. And I think it's been healthy, good back and forth. I think our offensive line is doing a really good job. We got a good defensive line, and those guys are stepping up to the challenge, and I think making it a lot easier than what people think, it's going to be. And I'm proud of those guys.
Well, I want to know about, you're kind of a mentor role for Drake May.
It's like I just said.
I don't get it. I could never be you. Like, you're competing, but you're a teammate, but you're kind of a mentor. It sounds like a tricky dynamic.
I just personally think I'm like, and it's not in a cocky way, but I'm very confident in my skills and what I bring to the table as a player, that it takes nothing away from me being a good person and just helping somebody, like that. I don't think that cost, like I said, it doesn't cost anything to be a good teammate, because if something happens to me, I want the next person to come in, and I don't want the standard to change, So, and that was the same thing when Tom was here, when Jimmy was here. It's like we all competed against each other, but we also helped each other. We wanted our room to be the best room in the league, and that's the ultimate goal. I want all of us to play for 40 years, 50 years, however long we want to play. And if I can be a sprinkle in somebody's career, helping them out, I think that's a success.
Did Tom help you out always, or was there times he didn't?
Oh, hell no. No, sorry. He didn't always. It was always a competition for sure.
Right. But it was still that level of teammate and respect.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it all boils down to, because, at the end of the day, we all have the same jersey on, same helmet on. Regardless of who they put out there, it's going to be the starter. It's going to be the starter. But at the end of the day, it's just like I said, we want our group in our room to be the best room in the league.
What do you miss about Bill?
I had a brief stint with Bill. I was probably a year. So I'm going on year 9. So I'm
Big
8
year.
years. Yeah, I'm 8 years removed.
You've been to other places. You had a lot of game time in Cleveland.
But I think what Jerod's doing a good job at not piggybacking it, but carrying on what Bill does. He's doing a good job of teaching the game, teaching football, teaching the rules of the game, and all the things that help you fast track to playing football. And I think Bill did a really good job of that. I think we were always prepared going into the games to where the games were easier than practice was. And, I think Jerod's doing a good job of bringing that along. So I really appreciated what Bill did for that.
You still running that hill?
Yeah.
Have you run it this camp already?
It's usually every day. We didn't run it today because it was our first day of pads, but I'm pretty sure we're running the hill tomorrow.
2024 Jacoby Brissett. You've been on a lot of teams. You made a big difference on a lot of them. You've grown, like you said. You said you're a little older. What is 2024 Jacoby Brissett saying to 2016 Jacoby Brissett about what's ahead, about how to handle himself?
Well, honestly, I didn't think I'd be in the league still, So
What?
This league's so hard, to be in this league every year. Each year is not by chance, It comes with hard work, and if I would tell myself anything, it's just like continue to put in the work, because at some point it's gonna pay off. And I get that question of you've been on so many teams, so many situations. Like, how do you stay and want to continue to go through some of the things that you've been through? I'm like, man, I tell myself this every year before the season starts. Sometimes some people have to take the long haul, and I have that, and I'm okay with that. It's like I feel like I'm built for that, and You know, 2024, I'm still eager to learn what that's going to look like in the end of this year.
Does it feel like you're playing with house money a little bit? If you're saying like, it's not like you're just happy to be here. You have huge goals. You know what it's like to be at the top and be around people who are world champions. But is it sort of? I'm just wondering if like I'm going to see an uncorked Jacoby Brissett a little bit, just because. I don't know.
I wouldn't say I'm playing with house money. I got all my money in it too. So, you know, it's just appreciating each day and taking each day one day at a time and actually enjoying the process of this thing and just at the end of this thing, let's just see where the chips lay.
As a good teammate, what is the best thing you've seen out of Drake May?
A
specific, please.
All right, for specifics, yesterday he threw a pick, a bad pick. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, one of those things. And then the next play comes out and throw a completion like on a rope, and I'm like, that's the NFL. Like, if in practice, you know, you have those one play games and those things in practice where it's like that was game, like, you know, he won that day, you know, and that's what I told him. I was like, man, like, don't let something like that go to waste. You know, it's like those are things that, you know, you come out on the practice field that you try to accomplish is try to, you know, make it as game-like as possible. And if you do that in a game, if you throw a pick in a game, you got to go back out there and they got to know that you're the guy.
I love that. Last one for you. I know it's a different coach, different vibes. There's some changes. RKK is still in charge. So how important is that stability? When you see and you come back here so many years later, and obviously Jerod Mayo came from that way as well, but not the Belichick part. Talk to me about like the stuff that stayed consistent and stuff that stayed the same.
Yeah,
and how much credit he deserves.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is when I started was just like the standard is still the standard. You know, fortunate for Mr. Kraft, he's been around a lot of winning, and you know, that's his ultimate goal, and that's what he's seen, and that's what he wants. That's what he's creating this to be, is to continue to win. And you know, I think for him to acknowledge like whatever the necessary steps that we need to do to win is, and you know, he's come up to me and said it personally, like, we're gonna do whatever we need to do to win right now, and it's not like we're waiting for anything. So no, I just think the standard, I think when you hear about the Patriots standard, I think that carries weight.
I love that. Mayo said that if you guys win 10 games, he'll put an air hockey table in the players' lounge. Your thoughts?
I don't play air. I don't even know what that is. So
that's not going to motivate you. What game would you want in the players' lounge? Darts.
We have
Papa
that.
shot.
We have that.
No, new information.
They just put in like NCAA. I don't play video games.
I just tricked you.
But guys been playing that. So whatever games. I mean.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
I was told that the players' lounge was impenetrable, and I know every game in there now, Jacoby.
I didn't tell you everything. I just told you the ones that you asked about.
You're the best. Thank you so much, and good luck this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sitting here with the newly minted, might I add, Rhamondre Stevenson, following a 2+ something hour practice, first day in pads. I spoke to Jerod Mayo. He seemed real excited about pads. Were you?
Yeah, I'm super excited, especially being a running back, you know, getting our offensive lineman tracks right, getting my tracks right. Yeah, it was a good day.
Tell me about the offensive linemen. When I was walking and talking with you before, you said
I think
they look good.
Yeah, first day in pads, they surprised me a little bit, I might say, just because they were acting like we've been in pads this whole time. A little bit of chemistry there already, good double teams, things like that. So, yeah, it's looking good so far.
Give me one guy on that O-line that you're like, yep, he's
Michael Winu.
Oh, wow. Tell me why.
Just big guy, stout up there. He knows what he's doing, and, you know, he's a team player.
It makes things easier for you, of course, and the quarterback, whoever that might be. First of all, we should have started with congratulations on your new deal.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
What is that smile for? What does it mean to you?
Just to know all my hard work since I was really 7 years old just paid off. So just knowing my teammates believe in me, the GM, the coaching staff, everybody believes in me, just gives me, you know, that much more confidence.
If you waited, you could have been the top guy on the market. I believe that. I think you would have gotten top dollar. Why not do that? Why want to be here?
You know, I love Boston. I fell in love with it. You know, they gave me a chance, drafting me fourth in the draft. So I believe in loyalty, and I think it was a bit of that going on.
Everyone behind me is yelling Drake. Please come over here. Please come over here. This is the rookie, and it's your third overall pick's first padded practice. I need these size up by Rhamondre Stevenson.
Good player, great player, big in stature. You know, he surprised me a little bit as well. Just knowing what he's doing out here, the QB position is so hard. So just him locking in and just knowing what everybody's on, is a good thing.
What do you mean he surprised you? What specific thing about his game has surprised you?
Just as simple as just calling the play call in the huddle. You know, it's a tough job for the quarterback, especially being a rookie. I don't know how much of that he did in college, but I know it's a lot different from what you do in college. So just get in there, calling the play. That's a huge step.
Coach Mayo called you one of the best backs in the business. I feel like nobody's talking about New England. Does that do something to you?
I love it. I love being an underdog. And we all we got, we all we need. So as long as we know we have in the building, we're good.
Coach Mayo, I'm obviously obsessed with him because that's the most fascinating part. What this new thing looks like. Take me inside the players' lounge. Who's most excited about it on the roster?
I was very excited. I'm in there every day. We got bean bags in there. I'm in there, taking 30-minute naps every day, playing the game, things like that. We're still locked in, but just another thing for us to, unwind and get away from it just a little bit.
I heard there was a rumor that said on our show on Up and Adams that if you win 10 games, y'all get an air hockey machine. Do you think you have it in you? 10 plus wins.
That would be great. That's the goal. We gotta to
you
get
gotta
some
get
wins.
that air hockey machine.
We gotta get the air hockey machine. Yeah, being in a 10-win team, I think we could do it personally. I think we got the pieces to do it. It's just honing in and, locking in and just getting ready for the long season.
So it's your first padded practice, and it's raining, and there's fans here, and you didn't have to go up against Matthew Judon. Was that nice and easy for you today? Let's be honest. You barely broke a sweat, I see.
Right. We missed Judon out here. I hope to have him back out here soon. But, yeah, it was took a little off me not having to run against him today.
How important is he?
He's very important to this team. He brings the energy, great player, great leader. And yeah, he needs to be out here with us.
He needs to be out there with you, and hopefully we get him out there, which would be amazing. Javon Baker. I saw 1 grab, 2 grabs. The fans are excited about him. What are you seeing out there as we enter training camp dog days?
Yeah, he's actually my locker partner, so I talked to him a little bit. He has some dog in him. I'm excited for him this season. Him as well as Jalen Polk. They're both pretty good players, and they got that dog in them. They're tough players.
I asked your coach, what's the identity of this offense? I feel like I understand how great the defense is going to be. Christian Gonzalez, everybody back. Judon when he's out there. Formidable, top 5. You'll be better because you're going against him every day. Offensively, he said run the ball. Run the ball is the identity. Any pressure that you're feeling with that? What is that like?
No pressure. I'm ready for it. Me and all the other backs in the room. He says it almost every team meeting. We're going to run the ball, stop the run, and cover kicks, and that's a tough football team to me. What's
something you've learned from him already this year?
Just be consistent, be the same every day, no matter if it's going your way or not. Just bring that oomph to you and come out here and have a good time, and try to be consistent.
So you're paid, you're set, you've got a good situation here. You like Boston. What's motivating you? What is the goal for you?
I love football, and I'm a competitive person, so winning games is what's motivating me right now. Just going out there, being the best as we can as a team on all sides of the ball, every facet of the game, and just going out there, being relentless and getting some wins under our belt.
Do you watch any former Patriot running backs do their thing?
Of course.
Highlights? Who you like?
I like
we
a lot
covered
of them.
along. We got Curtis. You got Stephen Ridley.
Yeah,
Red Dog
Stephen
had
Ridley.
that 1,000 yards. What'd you make of his game? Who do you look at?
I look at everybody, but I'll take the one you just said, Stephen Ridley.
Why?
3-down back. He does everything. Could catch, block, run the ball. I also love LeGarrette Blount. That's my guy. Runs the ball super hard. Been a fan of him. And James White. I take little things for everybody's game.
I'm glad you mentioned James White because our boy Sweet Feet caught the ball. He caught the ball a lot. I feel like you get a lot of love for being physical. You want it. You want pads. You want this. You want that. But you can catch the ball. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What did you have last year? 69 grabs in 2022. Are we going to see more? I know it's a running team. We get it. Or will you be involved more in the passing game this year?
I think so. Just in these last few days during camp, I feel like I had a lot of balls. Me and the other running backs caught a lot of balls out the backfield. So hopefully that could carry over to the season. And, yeah, we could have another 70 catch season.
What story do you want out there that isn't out there? What's not being talked about as far as this team? I think leadership is there. We're talking about the absence of Bill Belichick. Obviously, the quarterback competition is going to be scrutinized. Is there a strength to this team that we are not giving enough love to?
I think so personally, but I like where we sit right now. I love being the underdog.
Which group isn't getting enough love?
Offensive side of the ball. Well, I'll say the offensive side of the ball. But we like being underdog. I personally like being the underdog. Nobody talks about us till the season rolls around. Then we rolling. So I love how it is.
Who
right
wakes
now.
you up from the naps in the players' lounge?
The running backs, my guy AG.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that. You put up 3,200 yards over these next 4 years, and you break the Patriots' all-time rushing record. Have you thought about that?
of course, that was actually being thought about before I signed. You know, that was kind of one of my points I made to my agent and to, you know, Coach Mayo. Like, I want to be here. And I love Boston, and in another breath, I want to, you know, be the all-time leading rusher here. And I think I could do it. Coach Mayo thinks I could do it. So it's just all about just getting it done.
It's not all about Mayo. He's a defensive guy. He's going to focus on the defense, all of that. Alex Van Peltz. What do I need to know about him as I cover you guys this year?
That he loves to run the ball. He loves being physical. He wants to get the ball, you know, downfield and then play action off of it. So I think it's going to complement each other well.
So you're my fantasy running back this year, sounds like.
Definitely.
Underrated offense, run the ball. He can catch the ball. He's about to break a record 4 years away. He loves Boston. You're here. You're motivated. You don't have to sweat a contract. I don't think I have any more questions.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Kay Adams. Appreciate it.
Christian Gonzalez, 3 full games last year. Padded practice. You're here 2024. How do you feel?
Excited. Very excited to just be back on the field and just doing what I love. So there's no better feeling than that.
I feel like the players who go through what you went through, adversity, especially, I mean, you were Rookie of the Month. You were on top of the world. Those players are the best in the National Football League because they have sort of scar tissue to grow from. What did you learn in the injury time?
I learned so much, more so about, like, you know, obviously I couldn't play, and learning more, like, mentally, like, how to build a routine and hold the routine, and then trying to, you know, learn more about the game and understand the ins and outs of it.
How did it feel out there, padded practice?
Today felt real good. You know, it was a little, you know, everybody gets a little anxious, you know, put the pads on, especially I was pretty anxious just to put the pads on again, but more so excited, more just happy to go out there, run around, have the pads on, and get back to, you know, real football.
Your quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, said that the offense is underrated. I heard the same thing from Rhamondre Stevenson. Do you think your offense is underrated?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited for them to go out there and show what they can do.
What is it? What can you point to as being the special thing?
You know, bringing in everybody, just all of them building together, you know, bringing in the new receivers, bringing in new quarterbacks, Drake and Jacoby, and having them around, and having Kobe in the building, and his, you know, he's a veteran, so he knows how the league works, and him bringing that energy and just bringing the energy from the locker room to the field, and going out there, you know, talking smack and just having fun with playing.
What does Jacoby say? I can't imagine.
Oh, he talks smack.
What does he
talks a
say?
little smack. I don't know if you can throw it out there, but
you can't replay
yeah,
it.
but we'll talk smack out there.
Who's the wide receiver that's pissing you off the most out there?
I mean, I gotta say Polk, because he went to Washington. You know, I went to Oregon. We don't like Washington, so, you know. But nah, nobody really pissing me off. But I always give him a hard time every time I see him. You know, I gotta put the W down.
Jonathan Jones is saying that you're giving him Stephon Gilmore. Those sort of vibes. What does that mean to you? That's a defensive player of the year. That is a Super Bowl champion.
I mean, it's cool to hear it. It's crazy to hear it. But, you know, I also want that pressure. I want things like that. You know, I want the whole team to be able to trust me. But, you know, a lot of it comes from him, from being able to learn from him. And, you know, he sits right behind me in meetings and is always, like, telling me, okay, if you get this, this, and just giving me so much more about the game. So a lot of that comes from him.
That's cool. You and Jonathan Jones are there. Is there I know Gilmore is a mentor to you. Any world where this team maybe makes the playoffs and you want to invite Gilmore back into the building?
I would love if Gilly was here. I would, for sure.
What would he bring?
I mean, y'all know what he brings on the field. Everybody knows what he brings on the
He's
field.
a free agent. Isn't that crazy?
It is. It is crazy. I don't know how he's a free agent, but, you know, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah. Were you surprised at the sort of the hoopla, I'll say, or all the fanfare, all of the energy around you buying your parents a house?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, I kind of figured it would kind of get a little
Buzz.
attention. I didn't think it was actually going to get that much, but it's pretty cool to see it.
It's pretty cool. Did you pick a house and give it to them, or did you let them pick their own house? How
I
did
picked
that
the
work?
house, yeah.
You picked that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like on those shows where they're like, move the bus, and then they hate how it's redecorated?
Yeah.
Did they like the house?
Oh yeah, no, they loved it. I mean, I went to go look at a couple houses with my mom. She's told me, you know, she talks all the time about houses and just things, not even like material things like that, but she like talks about a house, and I knew certain things she liked, and saw that house, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is the one.
Your house got remodeled here at Patriots Place, here on Route 1. What is the part of the remodel that you're most excited about? Some of the changes, whether it's the music or the levity or what change are you most excited about from last year?
I would say the energy in the building, the feel. There's people that are bringing more energy from, kind of like what I was saying with Kobe and all the leaders, Bent, everybody just bringing all that from, not just all the music y'all hear out here, and it goes back into the locker room, and we're all feel like we're coming closer and doing things like that. At
a certain point in camp today, I was hearing shit from my day. Okay, I was hearing Make It Rain. I was hearing there was like Soldier. Did Mayo get on the speaker and start picking songs at one point today?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
I don't know.
Have you gotten to pick songs in the players list?
I haven't. They probably won't let me.
Why?
I'm only year 2.
What would you play?
If I got to pick the whole day, it'd change a lot. It'd start with some Brent Faiyaz to start the day off, stretch. Probably get some Boss Man in there, some Lil Durk, some rap to pick it up in the day with some more chill R&B type of vibes.
I think everyone knows this defense is going to be really tough, especially with you healthy. Matthew Judon, a huge part of that. What has it been like playing alongside him, being back here at practice? What's he bringing?
He brings everything to the table. The defensive line is a DB's best friend. They get back there and put all the pressure on the QB to make a throw, and then we're there to break it up, pick it off. So being able to have him up there and all the edge rushers, Keon, Uch, all the front seven, they help the back secondary so much.
As a leader, as a teammate, how important is he?
Very important. Very important for just, he's also a big energy guy. Like everybody knows, he comes out here, gets everybody wild up and ready to go. And he's something I picked up from him is he's always having fun. He's always out here just smiling and, picking up the energy. If people are like kind of lackadaisical and just mellow-headed, he comes in and brings the energy up.
What was the energy like without him out there today?
I mean, it still felt good. We still got other people.
You still make plays.
Yeah, for sure.
I love to see it. I was looking at the wide receivers on this team. PFF had them ranked bottom of the barrel. You talked about Polk a little bit, and he actually said to the media, y'all screenshot that and remember. We know he's been shining. Javon Baker, somebody who's shining in camp. What does the world need to know about these rookies?
I think they bring so much to the table. I played against Polk for 3 years in the Pac-12, so I know what he brings and the competitor he brings, and he's also another big energy guy, somebody that, he comes into the building and he's always smiling, always, just having fun, and Bake's a game changer. So I'm excited to see them continue doing what they do on the practice field, and then I can't wait to see what they do on Sundays.
Last year, Tyreek Hill had a lot of high praise for you, and I can't wait to see what happens with you guys twice a year. You're a big Sour Patch guy. Which we're going to give you some Sour Patch Kids because you did such a great interview. We know we brought these for you just as a gift. They're my favorite
Appreciate
candy. You're going to see him in week 5. Is there anything nice you'd like to say about Tyreek Hill?
He's one of the best ever to do it. I mean, everybody knows what he brings to the table. Speed, route running. He's a game changer. So to be able to have that is, it's fun to have that matchup, and I'm excited.
Yeah, sour and sweet. It'll be nice to see you two battle it out. You faced this last one for you. You faced have you seen the wide receivers you faced this year?
The gauntlet.
Is that what we're calling it? The gauntlet. I mean, so if anybody out there doesn't know, Jamar Chase and Higgins, of course, DK Metcalf and Lockett, Garrett Wilson, Debo Ayuk, followed by Tyreek Hill and Waddle. Yeah. You ready?
Oh yeah, that's as a corner, that's what you want. You want the big time matchups. You want the attention. That's the part of this position.
All right, there we have it. We've got Christian Gonzalez healthy, ready to go. This was one of the best defenders in the National Football League last year. He's going to pick it up even better this year at 100% health, right?
Yep,
All
ready
right.
to go.
We'll be back on Up and Adams with more from Patriots Camp right here in Foxborough. Patriots Camp to kick off our NFL Up and Adams training camp tour has been a delight. We talked a little offense with Rhamondre Stevenson, Jacoby Brissett, and a little defense with Christian Gonzalez, sort of soft-spoken. I have a feeling he lets his work play for him and speak for him out on the field when he's stifling this offense that we still have questions about. So very curious about what it's going to look like. One thing I can tell you, a couple of my takeaways quickly. The offensive line is going to be formidable. Everyone is complimenting the offensive line. Is it together? No. First pad of practice today. We don't know what's what. But both the running back and the QB1 of this team, and I do believe the coach of this Patriots 2024 squad, having confidence in what that O-line can do to be the quarterback's best friend and, of course, open things up for the run game, the pass game, and the like. I came in here with questions mostly on the quarterback competition, like everybody, and the general energy around the team. A team I know very well, a team that I was blessed enough to cover year in, year out. And I only talked about it with Jacoby Brissett, but it is the stability of the top, and that's what matters. It is the teams with ownership and consistency and values that really have success in the National Football League, and that is why I will never overlook New England as long as it is Robert Kraft and the Kraft family that are running things. The standard kept coming up today, and that standard is one that I have faith in. I'm banging the over on this team, and it's not just because of defensive standouts like Gonzalez and like Judon, who hopefully will rejoin the team shortly, and I have no doubt that he will, because of a guy like RKK. Because you can change whatever you want, but as long as it's him making the point to talk to a Jerod Mayo, to have a relationship with Jacoby Brissett, who we knew back in 2016, of course, as part of this roster, that sort of Patriot way is still here. I feel it. I feel a little looseness, but I don't want anybody to think this was like some cupcake, I know there were puppies and cupcake camp that isn't really tough and that isn't sharpening iron. They see the banners. The vibe is not here. It's actually that same energy. I cut up on the vibes of this team. Obviously, I would call it a little bit looser as I bring Hamilton in here. A little looser for sure, but still very much the Patriot way that we saw years and years ago. We were hanging out with the McCourty brothers when they were both here. Specifically watching camp, what did you see?
Yeah, so the intensity was definitely there when you looked at the padded practice and, you know, some of the physicality that was going on. But I was really impressed by the offense because we know the defense is going to be really good. We've heard a lot about that. And, you know, as you said, a lot of questions about the offense, but they were making plays out there. Jacoby was threading the needle on a couple throws and really mobile as well. Drake May made a couple nice plays. Rhamondre was running it hard. And you mentioned the offensive line, and that's been a big question so far in camp, and there have been some reports of some struggles. But you get the pads on, it's different. Putting the pads on helps the offensive line more than anything else. It's hard to block when you're not in pads. Mm-hmm. So I think that could have been a part of it because you're right. They looked great, and everybody that we talked to today was highlighting that.
My bold prediction with Judon, they're a top 5 defense. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Without Judon, they're not a top 10 defense, in my opinion. I think they are going to run the ball like we heard, but I do think we'll see Rhamondre Stevenson. I'm going to say 69 catches in 2022.
Yeah.
He'll have just around there in 2024.
Yeah, and that's going to be a quarterback's best friend, too. Mm-hmm. Whoever ends up winning the job, that's going to help them out a lot. But you mentioned Judon. That's kind of the story of the day here. And, you know, it seemed like even with the contract issues, he kept showing up, practicing, but leaving the field today. And reports of some disputes going on, and it's not.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I actually think it's an opportunity for Jerod Mayo, Elliott Wolf too, of course, but Jerod Mayo to show what a leader he is.
Yeah.
To show what his boundaries are as a coach. He sat here and said, you know, he said players coach, and he kind of balked at it. Like he wants to be known as a great coach.
Yeah.
Great coaches get things done, get guys back on the field, and so does great leadership on the GM side, and I do think Elliott Wolf has that in him. He's such an important piece to this organization. I also wanted to say, just the fans that are here, and just the things that the Patriots do. When we talk about things of being consistent and stable, look no further than RKK Foundation, what he's doing. Everyone's wearing a blue pin around here. Everybody's in the battle against anti-Semitism. We had veteran families here and celebrating. We had puppies. We had all of the things. But tell me more about or I wanted to say about the Blue Star families. They had a bike giveaway. And I wanted to say about the coach. He went over to Donna, who's been running the foundations here for 20 years, and he said, save a bike for me. I want to give a bike away. It's important. And to have a coach like that be enthusiastic about that is why I'm not worried about this team at all.
Yeah, and that's awesome to have that alignment. And Donna talking about all the players that come over and are part of their initiatives as well. And you mentioned that Blue Star Foundation working with military families. Donna was telling us too, there was a dad who had been away for over 300 days on his deployment, and he was gifted a bike for his son, and it's just awesome everything they're doing here in the community as well.
And again, the Kraft Foundation, through, $20 million investment that he has, and of course the investment of others, really, really generous. It is a great thing, of course, always going on and permeating through Patriot Place. Any other, things that really stuck out to you maybe from our interviews today? Jacoby Brissett is unquestioned the QB1 of this squad. What does Drake May have to do?
It seems like he has to really blow him out of the water because as Mayo said, if it's even close, he's going to go with the experience of Jacoby Brissett. And I love hearing that, because not only is it the thing that's probably going to give them the best chance to win, I think that's the best thing for Drake May's development long term. We've talked about it a lot. You don't want to throw a guy in there before he's ready. Give him the time to sit. There's no harm. No quarterback has ever been hurt by sitting a little bit longer. We've seen quarterbacks get hurt by getting thrown into early.
It's like one of the few things you and I agree on. Here to that. You brought a mascot to me. Let's end it there.
We'll be seeing way more mascots over the course of these next 3 weeks.
Why do you bring the mascots to me?
They love you, and
Kat,
you love them.
Can we declare no I love the mascots. Who do we got tomorrow? Oh, we got the bird, that eagle man.
Oh, yeah. You had a big moment with him last year. Swoop.
Guys, we are on. Let's show you guys where we're going. We are on to Philadelphia from here. Check out our shows on YouTube, of course. And then from there, I believe we're going to the New York Jets, up to Buffalo, down to the Commanders, and so on, subject to change. I also just wanted to say thank you to the Patriots. Thank you to Stacey James. Thank you to Julia, who is... Have you eaten today, Julia? Julia has not eaten today. I brought donuts. She didn't care. She's standing in the rain, leading us everywhere, taking me to the bathroom every 2 seconds. It is a lot to deal with. I feel so welcome. It is a beautiful thing. I could get emotional about it, to be honest. But thank you to the Patriots, their staff, the players, and everybody who makes this work and lets us be part of the party.
Yeah, no, it's been an incredible day.
And we haven't, and day one of not getting in a fight yet. All right.
Almost.
See you guys later. Bye.